Greetings everyone, my friends. Welcome to my new video. Today I'm going to explain Bitcoin's journey to $150,000. Why Bitcoin can be $150,000. I'm going to explain step by step. After the previous 3 bear and 3 bull periods, we are now in the 4th bull period, which is on record. What kind of movement can we expect in this bull period? I mean, what kind of movements did it make in the past? What kind of movement can it make in this period? We will talk about that. Here come the Bitcoin ETFs. The first ETF news came from Europe, friends. Spot ETFs in the US will eventually be repaired. We are waiting for this. And at the same time, inflation in America is falling very hard. In this situation, friends, faces should smile in Bitcoin now. Today, friends, we will look at this. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Archon project. It is a project that ChatGPT is a partner of friends. And artificial intelligence, is taking the world by storm and changing it. But our main topic is the rise of Bitcoin. Let's go to our video without wasting time. Friends, I create checks about finance and cryptocurrencies for you on montecrypto.com. If you like such checks, you can subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Our topic today, friends, is Bitcoin and its previous bull movements. We made a video about it. Here's what we saw. The first bull was 742 days. The next bull was 1,064 days. And we predicted that this bull could be 1,064 days. The second month was 357 days. The third bear was 378 days. We also saw such a graph on the bars in the bears. So very similar, see 64,064 days, 64,064 days. And the duration of the first bull was right in the middle of the halving. The duration of the second bull was right in the middle of the halving. So in the middle of the second bull there was a halving, and the third bull was right in the middle of the halving, friends. In the middle of the fourth bull, there are those who guess there is halving. Of course, these things do not happen exactly, but there is something called statistical science. Mathematics does not lie. Here too, friends, mathematics does not lie. They will make 3 or 5 more or less similar movements, and we will talk about Bitcoin's journey from these similar movements. Now, first of all, friends, I will enlarge the chart. Because during the first bull period, the price of Bitcoin was so small that it is not understood on this graph. We went up and up and up. Now the graph has become a little more logical. Friends, during the first bull period, Bitcoin, friends, suddenly came from $9 to $1,050. Bitcoin makes its hardest move in the first bull. Then, friends, we are experiencing a lunar period. During the lunar period, it drops from $1,160 to $180 again. Now there are 3 to 5 metrics for us here. The first one is the rate of increase in the movement from the $10 we just mentioned in the first bull to $140. Then how many percent has this bear fallen? We look at it, for example, it fell 83%. In the first bull, friends, 13,000% increased in the first bull. The bear also fell 83%. We will also look at this. From bear to bear, that is, from the lowest level of the bull to the lowest level of the bear, how many percent increased? We examine these. By the way, the video you are watching right now is a reward video. 2 friends who like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, win a gift of $10 per person from us. We will announce the winner in the next video. Now, friends, we are examining the second one. After that, something like this happened, friends. Do you know what we saw from the $210 levels? We went from 19,000 to 20,000. There is an increase of 9,000%. Pay attention. There is a gradually decreasing volume, and we'll explain why. Then we had a decrease of 82%, which is a gradual decrease. But not a very sharp decline. The amount of decrease decreased from 83% to 82%. Here, friends, we saw $3,000 again from $20,000. I remember those days. Everyone was talking about Bitcoin being a bubble again. Then again, friends, Bitcoin saw about $70,000 from these $3,000. Everyone again talked about Bitcoin saving the world. Then we dropped from these $70,000, $69,000 to $15,000 again. Again, there was talk that Bitcoin was a bubble. Now again, at the level of $30,000, Bitcoin is saving the world. So human perceptions change a lot according to price. The meaning of Bitcoin actually changes according to its price for all of us. But in fact, Bitcoin is a blockchain, a software that works far away from emotions. It never stops. It doesn't make mistakes. It's been running like a top for years since 2009, and that's a very good thing, actually. Now here, friends, when we look at the second bull, what did we say in the second bull? There is an increase of 9,000%. In the third bull, friends, there is an increase of about 200%. We experienced an increase of 200%. And then, guys, we had a drop of 77%. And we're entering a new bull period at $15,000. Or rather, I've said $15,000 many times on Twitter, on YouTube, in videos. I said, friends, we are now in the bull cycle. The bear is over. It really doesn't look like it will ever fall below $15,000 again. They had 11 friends. In a fascistic way. Here, I'm not buying Bitcoin until Bitcoin is $9,000. I'm not buying Ethereum until Ethereum is $400. You're not making a win-win. You don't have to scrape the bottom. You don't have to make the most profit. Let's make a medium profit, but let's avoid losses. Now, my friends, it was $16,000. A friend of mine called. Should I buy it? I told him to buy it. 9,000, 9,000. I have a strategy. I have a tactic. I promised myself I wouldn't buy it until it dropped to 9,900. I told him not to buy it then. Now he called me. He wants to buy Bitcoin at $30,000. And he wants to make me a basket. And he wants us to buy a basket. Here's the point here. You don't have to buy at the bottom. So at 20,000, we said that this is now the bull level. 30,000 is still the bottom of it right now. We don't necessarily have to buy at the lowest level. Now, of course, there is no enormous Excel here, but we see this. At first, Friends made 13ks. Then he did 9 ticks. So what are we looking at here? Here's what we're looking at. 13ks in this bull period, 9 ticks in this bull period, and approximately 20ks in this bull period. It's going down and down. Why is that? Let's explain that first. Now, friends, we have our market cap. Right now, we're at $119 trillion. If I buy a coin on Binance with a very low volume, and I share it on Twitter, Telegram, YouTube, Instagram, that I bought it at that moment, we'll have a 30% increase. Right? That's because the volume of that coin is low. I bought it, 3 or 5 other people bought it, suddenly the price goes up. But what if I say I bought Bitcoin? What if I say I didn't? Right now the market cap is about $593 billion. That's a very serious amount of money. It multiplies Elon's fortune many times over. Now what do I mean here? I mean the market is now $2 trillion, $2 trillion. Now if we make 133 times $2 trillion, that's $260 trillion in the whole world. If you collect all the companies in the whole world and sell them, that's not enough money. Was the gold market cap $10 trillion, $20 trillion? So it's not reasonable to expect 133x, 9x, or 20x again. So what can it do? My expectation is that it can do 10 to 11x, friends. And in this case, we assumed that we entered the bull period with $15 last time. When the ONX makes on Berks, it is very reasonable to see $150, $160 in Bitcoin. Very clear. In the first period, friends, Bitcoin. This time we evaluated this, friends. I evaluated this here too. We evaluated the difference between the fires here too. What does this mean? It means this. From here, from 1,000 hundreds, friends, it went up to $1,900. In other words, while it was $1,160 in the previous bull, the peak was $19.0 in the next bull. And the next bull, it's $69,500, 16x the first time. The second time it did 3.5x. Look, it's going down and it's going down hard. I mean geometrically, dramatically, in other words, dramatically. Now we will assume that he did twax here too, very likely. In that case, friends, if we multiply 70 by 2 times, it would be reasonable to see around 140. $0 at the lowest, around 150. $0, around 160. $0. Again, when we come back here again, and gradually, friends, now, so pay attention, volatility is decreasing, by the way, constantly. It was down 83% at first. You know, if we're going to speak in X terms, it did 5.8x, then it did 5.5x, then it went to 4.5x, and then, for example, in the next round, it's probably going to do twax. What does that mean? Things are going to get less and less. So the amount of downs he's making is going to get smaller and smaller. The amount of upside is going to be less and less. And the volatility, my friends, is going to go down. We are already experiencing much less volatility than in the past. This actually makes it a slightly more reliable investment instrument. It makes it more interesting in the world. Friends, in this case, this is what we expect. So I think it is not at all a remote possibility that we will see $150, $160. Friends, apart from that, now you know OpenAI ChatGPT. What is ChatGPT? Here is a place where we can ask everything. Robot engine, search engine, but artificial intelligence support. We ask Google and ridiculous things come up. Now I'll give you an example. Wojak, or I'll give you an example. Let's say Shiba. People who bought a $50 Shiba got $1 million. Is that true? That's true. I agree. But does it make sense to buy a Shiba right now? But a lot of people say, you know, I bought a Wojak. I bought this, I bought that, I'm going to be a millionaire. Look, I'm saying I bought it, I'm buying it, but I'm not saying I'm going to be a millionaire. Let's make X amount of money, that's our problem. I don't need to sell you dreams. For example, here's the issue, friends. For example, if I type this into Google, here before Shiba rose, before the hype, if I search which wallets the wallets that bought $50 are shopping from now, Google won't find it. But if I ask on ChatGPT, there is a possibility of finding it, but in ChatGPT he will tell me this. He will say that I cannot give this information because I have not bought 2021 and later for myself yet. Who comes into play here, friends? It's my back. It's a terrific thing. Again, there is a very strong artificial intelligence at work here. There are on-chain analyzers, there are wallet movements, and at the bottom, artificial intelligence is used again, but it's not a direct artificial intelligence project. So what is it like? Here's what I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna say, before Bojack throws very hard, or let's say Floki, before Floki raises too hard, Floki, and I'll tell you to find the wallets that hold $50 worth of Floki. I'll give you this much back for it. There'll be detectives here. They'll search all the databases and give us the information. So this is something like that. It's about artificial intelligence now. My back has a launch pad. There is a pre-sale. I think at least 25 to 30 people will participate in this project. Guys, I'm waiting. Come on. I'm sending it as a mobile notification right now. Watch this video on Launchpad. That's it. It's very good. Behind me is such a project, friends. This is the current situation in our Bitcoin market cap. It's been like this for weeks. We've been hovering around the $30,000 band for days, but I think the break will be upwards. But there is a rule like this. If you can't break up, you go down. But right now the support is not too bad. Look, by the way, Pepe is still very famous and continues to be searched among the most sought after projects. So what are the other signs that Bitcoin will be $150,000? At least $150,000, by the way. So think about it, that is $30,000 against the dollar right now. We are talking about an investment tool that will make basics against the dollar. How risky an investment can this be now? There is still PayPal, Voyager, Earn Dollars, Save Dollars or whatever, but it's a serious investment against the dollar, so it's a very good thing to multiply this much. Now, Grayscalen's CEO said that Bitcoin ETFs will eventually be approved in the US. Of course, there is a very serious difference between spot ETF and futures ETF. I'll tell you about that, and when I tell you about that, let me also say this. Europe's first spot Bitcoin ETF is getting ready to launch. It was not in Europe. With a 1-year delay, friends are preparing here too. Why? Spot ETF, really, for example, what does this mean, friends? The stock market, for example, there is an electric vehicles fund. There are funds like the Renewable Energy Fund. You buy them from banks. Here is BlackRock, the world's largest investment fund. It directly tells its customers that it is a Bitcoin mutual fund. When they buy this, those people directly buy Bitcoin. This means that the price of Bitcoin increases very significantly. So there is very good ETF news. We are coming back from the other side, friends. There is the relationship between interest and inflation. When in its lifetime did the US stop raising interest rates and start reducing them? I'll tell you. When there is a higher interest rate than inflation, that is, when there is a positive real return, they immediately stop raising interest rates. When we look at it from here, friends, by the way, there is a sound of renovation coming from a nearby house. Excuse me if you hear a knock-knock sound. In this case, friends, we look at it like this. 5.25% interest is now at 4%. Inflation is at the level of 5.25%. In this case, my friends, I think they will not increase it anymore. Maybe they can increase 125 basis points, but there is no point in still crying that inflation is high, inflation is high. Inflation is falling, how much harder should it fall? I mean, it is already falling gradually in an ideal way. It came in below expectations. It was good. We already tweeted about it the other day. My 3 knives had fallen, it says here. Yes, the inflation virus, friends, is now down to 3%. Here it is even more, that is from this graph. It is now at 4. That is from this graph. It has actually come down to these levels. It fell very hard around here. What else? 3% is now 3% annually. We are thankful if we see 3% monthly here. It will fall even more here. Because they suppress inflation with high interest rates. This is also a good thing, friends. So this is the current situation, so I think everything is positive for Bitcoin. So now the Fed interest side will calm down. The ETF side will support. When we analyze the chart, there are beautiful charts. I know you're very tired. I mean, we've had about 400 days of bear. Even if the bull lasts 800 days, it's very short. But the bear is overwhelming even in 400 days, friends. I understand this very well. Thank you very much for watching, friends. We have a bull period of 1,060 days. Don't forget that too. Stay motivated. If you have any questions, you can ask. Follow us on Twitter. Look, it's where he can report the most instantaneous developments, in a whispered way. Telegram is our announcement channel. Friends, you can ask anything you want. Goodbye, hope to see you in another video.